welcome to another edition of the Thursday Show. We always hope that you had a lovely week, and I can see that Christy Shields, all the way from Melbourne, already has. Yes, she's already got in on the old commenting wagon. You can too, as we are right at the top of the show. You can please give us a like on Facebook. You can share to spread the word or leave a comment, just as Christy did. And it has been another crazy week. Buckingham Palace has said that they are investigating claims that the Duchess of Sussex bullied staff, which kind of explains why Prince Andrew did that Newsnight interview in the first place. The royal family has become the next reality TV that even Netflix can't buy. Personally, I don't see this as a bad thing. I can't wait to see the next episode of The Only Way is Windsor. And of course, Meghan herself isn't shy to the limelight. She's been in numerous films, numerous TV shows. She was even in that movie, Get Him to the Greek, a film all about Prince Philip going back to his homeland. And of course, he's in hospital this week as he's coming up to 100 this June, which genuinely means that Prince Philip is older than sliced bread. That's a genuine fact, not a joke. It's a fact. Sliced bread came out in 1928. Prince Philip came out in 1921. So he is the best thing since before sliced bread. And looking a little bit further afield, Putin has said that in some European countries, Pfizer inoculations were stopped because there were lethal outcomes. Vladimir Putin saying that the Pfizer jab is lethal. I tell you what, the Pfizer jab is a lot safer than eating in ZZ in Salisbury. But it's not only me that is trying to make head nor tail of this week. As ever, it is my esteemed guests that are coming to join me. So please put your virtual hands together for the Harry to my Meghan. It's the one, the only. Some people call him Sodagar. I call him Sodogaff. It doesn't make any sense. It's Jay Sodagar! Which way is he?
It's that way. I'm going there you go. He's not swapped it yet. He's not swapped it. He will do.
Wait.
He isn't. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. Bless him.
How have you been? How's your week?
I've been very. Okay, I knew it'd do it. I knew. Oh no, it's been good. You were talking about Prince Philip. He's 99. He's 99 years old, and considering, Prince Philip isn't gay, is he? Yeah, no, brilliant. That's it. But the one point I'm going to say that if he's 99, he's going to be 100 this year. Yeah. So like men get blowjobs on their birthday. Is he going to get a telegram or a BJ? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen for that one. But bless you. The royal family, bless. You've got to love them, haven't you? You've got to love them because nobody else does. Bless them. You know what got me in the news? You know this Princess Latifah? This is the daughter of the Crown Prince of Dubai and stuff. And she's been complaining. She's been complaining that she's been locked up in a villa for a year. So have we.
Come and live in rented accommodation in South London, love. Then we'll see who's got it worse.
But that'd be a shit Disney movie. That really would be a shit Disney movie. That really would be. But this is the other thing. This is a true story. I've got my first jab, my vaccination this Saturday, and yes, I'm quite sort of like, oh, okay, here we go. And it's the Pfizer jab. It's the Pfizer jab. So I'm sitting there thinking, are they going to put a bit of Viagra in the Pfizer jab? Am I going to get a stiffy for the whole weekend? Because the missus, right, is going to be quite happy.
Really? Well, can we hold that there? Because there's a brilliant comment for Jay Saunders that I want to bring in at this very point in time based on just what you've said. There we go. It's to you, Jay Saunders. You know it to be true.
Is he talking about me or Prince Philip? This is the thing. I mean, to be honest, not that far apart. He's about double my age. Brilliant. I can imagine that. That'd be very weird. Like, on the birthday, on the morning. That's disgusting. That really is. And that's not even the dust. That's just the pubes. That's just the pubes. There you go. Brilliant. Good morning, Christy. Over there. I hope I haven't put you off your breakfast. There you go. This is awesome. But yes, no, I've got the jab coming up. What I would love to do, seriously, because the jab's like worldwide and stuff. So if anyone's going to get their jab later on this week or in between this week and next week's show, if anyone who's got the Pfizer jab just says, "Is there a bit of Viagra in the jab? All right, and am I going to get a stiffy?" Right. If you could record that with your phone, right? If you could just record that, just to watch every nurse go and carry on doing it. We'll play it on the show. I'd love to. Just to watch like at least 5 or 6 pissed off nurses just going, "Yeah, here we go again, another stiffy joke."
Well, I think they're already pissed off. They've just found out they're going to get a 1% increase. I don't think they need to be pissed off anymore, mate.
That's a bigger increase than Prince Philip's erection. That really. You see what I did there? I just keep calling
Very good. He's on fine form today. Well, it's not only the dynamic duo, it is the Three Musketeers. Let's bring in the man that's north of the border, home to Nicola Sturgeon, Scotch and Despair. It's the wonderful Vladimir McTavish.
Good evening. Hey. Good evening, folks. Yes, walk that way. Yes. Jay, I had my jab 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I had the Pfizer vaccine, and I've had a massive hard-on ever since.
Was that the hair?
It could be, because when the nurse says, "Do you want it in your left arm or your right arm?" I said, "Just stick it straight in my cock." There we go.
Brilliant.
That's why he's on a register.
It was an eventful bus journey home, I can tell you that. I had to sit downstairs. And I tell you, the driver didn't look that pleased. Oh, yes. We usually have some biting political comment in this show. Vaguely pandemic-related knock gags. That's what we're getting this.
Very good.
Do send those videos in.
Well, something that I really want to talk to you about, that I really want to, I don't know if you've seen this wonderful story that Pontins has disclosed, that it had a list of Irish surnames that they refused to take bookings from because they thought that all these people were gypsies and travelers. Those names included Boyle, Gallagher and McGuinness, which made you think, was it actually just one show with Frankie Boyle, Paddy McGuinness and the Oasis boys? It just went wrong and they're like, right, we're writing everyone off now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Well, who would, like, I mean, this is the thing. Pontins feels that they can be picky. That's mental.
No. Well, someone was saying that this is like back in the terrible, terrible days in the 1950s when racist landlords would put on their door, room to let, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. This is effectively what Pontins are doing, although I'm guessing they probably let you take your dog on holiday.
Have you ever been to a Pontins? Jay, you go to Centre Parks. It's just a middle class Pontins, basically.
It is. We don't have knobbly knees. We've got well toned pecs and abs. That's what we have.
I was once doing some gigs in the West Country with Kerry Marks. And it was like kind of 3-day tour. And on the last day, Kerry said, "Do you mind if we go and see this old mate of mine?" Because Kerry started out as a Quantum's Blue Coat. When he was when he was a young, very, very clean magician before he found the dark side of Kerry. And he said, "Oh, do you mind if we go and see my mate? He used to work at Pontes, and he's not very well." And so we went round, and we saw this mate of his, and it turned out this guy had been the manager of the holiday camp, and he'd been off in long-term sick, suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Managing well, I always wondered what this. Yeah. Oh, and he was telling us these dreadful stories. I mean, they were pretty horrific things to have to kind of deal with. But I always wondered, what it would have been like if he'd been at some kind of support group meeting. Other PTSD sufferers, and you get like a Falklands veteran saying, "Oh, it was awful when we got off at Goose Green and the Argentinians were sending those bombs right in the landing craft." And he said, "Well, you know what? If I ever have to judge another Nobblingese contest, I'm not going to."
Brilliant. Well, sticking with accommodation, something that I did want to put to you is actually the world's first space hotel is to start construction in a mere 6 years. It's able to accommodate 400 people. It's going to have a cinema, it's going to have bars, and it should be ready to go there by 2035. Would you go into space for holiday? Vlad's instantly now, bugger that. Nah,
no. It was 2035 that put me off. Fucking hell. Now you're talking in utterly hypothetical concepts as to where I'm going to go on holiday when I'm nearly 80. Yes. Anywhere that will have me.
Hopefully
the carpet.
Oh, well, hopefully the new James Bond movie will be out by that point. So I'll go then.
I hope so, because I'm in it.
Oh, we're doing so much better than last week.
Was that because you're now 80 years old? This film is taking so long to release.
Well, they just kick his walking stick from underneath him, and that's it. Credits rolling like that. It's like, oh, brilliant.
Yes, but it's now a year since the first cases of COVID. Parts of the country, and I don't know if you saw this item in the news, but apparently after a full year of experiments and studies, scientists have been doing a lot of experiments and studies around not just COVID but human behavior in general, and they've come up with some absolutely astounding discoveries about, well, basically they think intelligent life has emerged inside Downing Street, and we've got a little video that
for which he's been specially trained, but not so. He is doing this entirely on initiative. He's seen others doing it, and he's copying. And that ability to imitate, as well as to use tools, is something which started among monkeys, but has been brought to a much greater level.
Well, isn't it? Well, that is a genuine. I mean, whoever made that is a genius. That is a genuine. Because I've listened to it several times. At first, I thought someone did a really good impression of Attenborough. That is a genuine Attenborough that they've taken and they've done the voiceover on. But what's really good about it is if you look at Johnson's kind of the way he's bandy-legged movement, he actually moved like a.
I think. For me, it's the couple sitting next to them that are completely bemused and uninterested. Yeah. I think this video is worth a second watch because I think you're going to notice something different in it every time. Jay, what are you going to say?
It's the background. There's two people in the background. Just look over and go. Just watch them go.
Also, some poor fuckers waiting there for their COVID jab.
They're getting the Viagra ready for the needles. That's what's happened. And they're like, oh, it's stiff. It's gone stiff. We can't get it in. Can we watch that video again? I just think that's brilliant.
Kind of circus trick for which he's been specially trained. But not so. He is doing this entirely on initiative. He's seen others doing it, and he's copying. That ability to imitate, as well as
in the corner,
is something which started.
You are right. His legs are like a puppet pirate. They're really like weird and just like 2 bits of string dangling down. How odd.
Well, yeah. It's probably the first time he's done anything remotely resembling housework since he was a fag for the head boy at Eton. Yeah, Johnson, don't clean my toilet seat for.
What a strong start to the show. Well, Vlad and Jay are going to be coming back, and don't forget, this nonsense is absolutely brilliant to do. It's free to watch, but it's not free to make, so it's not too late to donate. Down here at the bottom of the screen, that's our donation link. If you can please donate, that means that we can keep doing this show that we love every week. And thank you to everyone that has been joining us: Christy, Jim, Jay, Jamie, John, all of the J's apparently this week. If you want to give us a like, give us a share, tell more people about it. But we have two very special guests this week, as the theme is geeks, and we're very chuffed to say that we have the one, the only Spider-Man on the show. Let's have a quick look at him in action.
People don't believe I can do it. Here we go. Yeah! Requests for Spider-Man's.
Please welcome our guest, first guest of the evening, the marvelous, out of costume, Nik Coppin.
Yes,
I never knew that was Spider-Man's alter ego.
Well, I don't have the costume, but I've got the T-shirt. I'm afraid the costume is with the. Weirdly, my Spider-Man costume is with the Black Panther. Strangely enough. Right. Well, the Black Panther being the name of my car. Basically, my car is entirely black, so I call it the Black Panther for obvious reasons of geekery. But that car is parked a couple of miles away for reasons I won't bore you with. But my Spider-Man suit is in the rear end of the Black Panther, so you can quote me on that.
Yes, it's like the Black Panther's rear end.
Basically, yeah, my Spider-Man costume is up the Black Panther's rear end, so it might need a bit of a wash when I get it back.
See, that sounds like a superhero movie waiting to be made.
I think it does. Sadly, Chadwick Boseman won't be in it, but I'm more than happy to fill in. So I'll do that. So sorry, no Spider-Man costume. So I've got the T-shirt. I do actually have this though. I've got a little willy warmer. This was made by our mutual friend. Our mutual friend, Jeannie Jones, gave me this for a couple of Christmases ago. She knitted it. She was knitting stuff, and she knitted it as a willy warmer. And I'm like, how big do you think my willy is? It won't touch the sides. So yeah. So it's a bit of a Spider-Man thing, but no suit, I'm afraid.
She may well. I mean, as you know, but most people watching in won't. Our friend Jeannie Jones, a Scottish comedian, but has a day job as a GP.
Does indeed.
So she was able to look at you and diagnose you had a cold cock.
Basically, yeah. So that is how good Jeannie Jones is as a GP.
Cold cock syndrome.
She's like, yeah, Nik Coppin has definitely got cold cock syndrome and knitted me a willy warmer. So I think I need the COVID jab to fit in this humongous thing to fit my willy in. So I need the jab since we're talking about geekery, but like this opening 10 minutes has all been about the size of or the hardness of all your cocks. So
I had some quite hard-hitting statistical material written, and I've not actually got around to doing it yet.
Well, COVID and cocks, why not? I mean, you are the human chicken. I mean, in many ways, that's kind of your superhero name.
The
human chicken, hard cock.
Yeah.
So.
We did agree this back in Australia a few years ago, that if I was to be a superhero, it would be the human chicken who was bitten by a radioactive chicken on the cock.
There you go. See? Yeah. Well, more of a peck, really, wouldn't it be? More of a peck than a bite, probably. Peck your cock.
I'm not sure. See, with my lockdown hair, I'm not sure I'm kind of rocking the human chicken look anymore, actually, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's some pretty feathery chickens out there, with longer feathers than that. So I think you're still quite chickeny. And I'm not buying this. What's this lockdown hair business? You can surely cut a bit off if you wanted to. But you've clearly gone for that. Look, I might be an old man, but I can still grow my hair. So,
yeah, I can, and I am.
Whereas I obviously can't, not on my head anyway. But I'm not going to get my arse out on this show, so you're not going to see my hair today.
No, I do keep actually meaning. In fact, I did set the challenge to myself that I was actually going to cut it on this show.
When's that going to happen? I'll tune in for
that.
It
was pointed out to me that might not actually be that interesting.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's one of those things that the concept is funnier than the actual deed. You can say, this guy, he cut his hair live in the interview. Yeah, that sounds a bit shit.
Well, yeah, so what you thought was forget this live cutting hair, maybe even for charity or for fun. No, let's just talk about hard COVID cocks instead. That's pretty much it.
Anyway, I have kept on meaning to cut it in between the shows, and then I think, what if I make an absolute cock up of it?
We're back to the cock. It's all about
we're going to get a vote. We're going to get a vote on whether I should cut my hair live. I can't do it live this week, folks. It would mean me going to another room to get my hair trimmers. But yeah, if anyone out there thinks it is going to be potentially entertaining to see me cutting my own hair live on the internet, then fuck it, I'm up for it. I've got other all else to do for the next 7 days. Oh, Christy, she's saying, my hair looks great like that. Thank you, Christy.
Well, I don't. Thanks for that, Christy. But I want to see Vlad bald. So,
yes, I'm getting an offer to get my hair cut live by a family member.
No excuses now.
She has cut my hair now, but she's actually at the other end of the UK.
That might be a bit of a problem, especially with Sturgeon and her restrictions. I don't think that's going to happen, is it? Really?
Yes, we get more restrictions up here, but only half as many people have died. So that's
okay. Anyway, fair enough.
You are, as that clip we've just seen would suggest, a big fan of superheroes. Tell us the story. What is the actual story behind that 15-second clip of you dicking around in a Spider-Man costume? Is that actually a show with no audience, or is it just an empty venue?
Just my show, basically. No, the story behind it is Andrew Roper, Australian comedian who used to live in the UK but doesn't now. Lives on the Gold Coast in Australia. Well, he was actually requested to maybe be in this show, but didn't want to get up early in the morning like our Christy, sad man that he is. Anyway, so he was doing a kids show based around superheroes, and at one point, the kids, I can't remember the exact details, but I had to come out as Spider-Man and spray the kids with silly string. And there were people that did it before me. Rick Carranza did it. David Sonos did it. But they were crap. They were shit. So much in many ways like Tom Holland. Now I'm the best. I think I've improved the Spider-Man franchise for Roper. And so, I squeezed. He basically bought me about 3 Spider-Man costumes. They kind of got better as you went along. I think that isn't actually necessarily the best one. There's another one, because that is kind of in parts with the separate hood. There's one that's got a complete mask and everything and gloves and everything. But the eyes I couldn't see properly through. So I couldn't use that suit. So I used that suit. Anyway, so that was me dicking around after his show and before Huggers. So there were 2.
So you got dressed up as Spider-Man and sprayed children with silly string.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And then I'll come back late again.
Behavior is only there's no small print of the law away from being on a register.
I know, basically. Yeah, I'm probably on the register somewhere in Scotland now because of it. I've been reported, no doubt. But I did then come out also and batter balls away because he had these coloured ping pong balls that would represent Infinity Stones. There was this thing that they had to throw them, these Avengers on stage, like kids dressed up, and Spider-Man would come out and help bat away these coloured ping pong balls, and he'd make a right mess. And then I'd have to help sweep it up afterwards in my Spider-Man suit before doing the kids show that I was running afterwards. But the worst thing about it was that bastard Roper, right? What he would do, he would say, oh, yeah, on the way out, you can do the collection thing. Spider-Man will be holding the bucket. And if you want your photo taken with Spider-Man, then go and get your photo taken with Spider-Man. So all these kids would come up, right, to fat Spider-Man in my suit, right? And obviously, look, the show was at like, I don't know, midday or something like that. Yeah. So needless to say, there was a few times I might have been a little bit hungover. And I've got these kids like making me bend down on my knees to like have a photograph. Probably no doubt breathing red wine all over the kids at about midday. So yeah, there was a couple of hungover. There's a couple of pictures somewhere on my Facebook of me backstage hungover in my Spider-Man suit. One especially the midday show after my birthday, because my birthday's during the Edinburgh Fringe, isn't it? So after going to bed at like 5:30, 6 a.m. After a party back at the flat, Spider-Man was not in a fit state to be spraying silly string, so he had a bit of a snooze backstage. Thought I might miss my cue, but luckily I didn't.
The world of superheroes, I must admit, something it kind of has passed me by, to be honest, because you were right into it, aren't you? When you, I know I've seen you, I've been in a pub with you when you and other people who share your passion have incredibly complicated and impassioned arguments about who would win a contest between like Spider-Man and Batman, or that's the two I know.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Spider-Man, Batman. What other superheroes are there? Go on.
Well, the only superhero I really like is Deadpool.
Not really? Well, yeah, he's a bit of an anti-hero, isn't he? But he's good. He's very popular now with his R-rated 18 sort of movie, like skewering people and caught masturbating and all sorts. But yeah, he is funny.
That's what I like about him. He's like a normal bloke.
Well, yeah, he's quite funny. Yeah, I mean, take away the fast healing powers and all the other strange stuff. He's just like a regular bloke. Yeah.
I like the fact in one movie he was drinking in a bar for 3 days solid, and he pissed himself in the bar stool.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You see, because Deadpool, much like that's what you like, isn't it?
Superhero. In fact, he's almost like fat Spider-Man.
Yeah, very similar in a lot of ways. But you see, that's the good thing about people like Deadpool and even Wolverine to a certain degree, is that they can't actually really get drunk because they've got these regenerative sort of fast healing powers. So they're constantly overcoming the poison of the alcohol. So they don't actually get drunk. They just keep drinking. So great, isn't it? What a great power. But then not being able to get drunk, that'd be rubbish, wouldn't it, really? Like, you might as well just drink Coke. What's the point of drinking beer?
But you opened my eyes, right? Because we were talking about this. You opened my eyes to the fact that there are actually genuine, because I thought this was a joke, but genuine Scottish superheroes.
There are. There's a number of Scottish superheroes. I've done my research over the years, and my favourite being Aberdeen Angus. Yeah, he's one of the last of the Warpies, apparently, who was transformed by the reality warping mutant Mad Jim Jaspers. And so he's got
I know.
Oh, of course, Mad Jim Jaspers. Who doesn't know Mad Jim Jaspers? But yeah, he's got this kind of like, he's about 10 foot tall, and he looks like just a giant standing bull, really. He's like a cow. He's cattle, really. But yeah, he's great. Weirdly enough, here's another thing. They get a bit desperate sometimes because I don't know if you know Prince Namor, the Submariner. I think his surname is Mackenzie. So there's this thing where they go, well, he's got to have a Scottish heritage, isn't he? But yeah.
I was thinking it could be like the football or the rugby, where if you had like a grandparent or something, that was enough.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. If you've got like a great granddad or whatever that was a superhero, and you happen to, wherever you live in the world, you can be a Scottish superhero. But here's one that actually you might not know of that is apparently very bizarre, and you'll know this name even if you don't know the superhero, there's actually a Scottish superhero called Bible John, apparently.
Bible John?
Yeah, they've obviously... Well, obviously he's that kind of... Because he was a serial killer that was never caught, wasn't he?
He was a serial killer that was never caught. Although they're not sure. They think they might have caught him. There was a guy called Peter Tobin who was arrested about 10, maybe a bit more years ago than that, and they reckon he might have been Bible John. Bible John murdered 3 women in the early 70s. He was called Bible John because he would quote passages of the Bible to them. Never got. And he's a superhero.
How did they know if they were dead? How did they know?
Because there was some because he bored them to death. No, because he never murdered anyone on a Sunday.
That'll be it. No, but yeah, he apparently have made him some kind of superhero. He's a vampire hunter, apparently.
No, a couple of women had narrow escapes from him, got into taxis with him, realised, oh fuck, this could be Bible John, because this guy had started quoting the Bible and jumped out the taxi.
Anyway, you wouldn't you? Anyone starts reading the Bible in a taxi, you'd be straight out the door.
Yeah.
It's like, no thanks, mate.
This is a superhero called Bible John. He's not the same guy, is it?
No. I think what it is, I mean, he does look a bit creepy and weird, but apparently they've obviously taken the name. Yeah, basically, yeah, as you would be. But yeah, apparently he's some kind of vampire hunter that has occasionally worked with Blade, apparently. So there you go. He's gone from basically killing and murdering women to being a vampire hunter. Go Bible John. Yeah, he's reformed. So
Jay Saunders quotes Lord of the Rings during his killing sprees. We've got quite a dark, rather juvenile show tonight, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically cops and murder. Yeah, what happened to the superhero?
Fucking 3 minutes of hard-hitting satire is going to have to wait till next week.
But yeah, you should have a look at the Scottish superheroes. There's quite a sexy lady who's in a skin-tight, costume, spandex, as like most superheroes, but she's got kind of like the saltire, the cross, that's sort of the flags. But she's quite hot. Caledonia, her name is.
What? What's she called?
Caledonia. Look her up. She's quite sexy.
Oh, Caledonia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know Caledonia. Yeah, yes. So, yeah, that's another one. But, yeah, there's some interesting ones. You've got a few. But as I say, Aberdeen Angus is my favourite. He's a 10-foot cow, basically.
Cool. So how have you been getting on? I mean, presumably the world of superheroes is something you can still indulge in the frustrating times we live in right now. How are you coping with that?
Well, the world. Well, I mean, the good thing about here's the thing as well, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before. That on the weekends, I've been going down. That's where my pub is, at this place called the Ruby, in Coldine, just on the outskirts of Brighton. So I just let the park there because it saves all parking restrictions. Anyway, so I do these deliveries there. But the guy that runs the pub, who's taken over it, booted out all of the ruffians that were there, for the last few years. He's taken over it. Or is he trying to do things with lockdown? But what he's got is he used to. His name's Tommy Tickle. He does clowning. His real name is Tommy Tickle, but that's obviously his stage name.
Tickle.
It sounds like a weird superhero himself, doesn't it? Yeah.
Is he a really shit superhero?
Shit superhero, big red shoes. He kicks people to death. But yeah, his real name's Gary, but he taken over his pub. But people just call him Tommy Tickle because they know him as the clown, right? But he's owned comic shops in the past, and he's done like background art for Marvel and DC comics in the past. And so I think a lot of the time, as sort of payment, because he's a fan of comic books, they gave him like loads. You get the comic books in book form. You've got the books. He's got like just shitloads, a whole wall of like comic books. And so like in downtime when there's nothing to do, I'll just go there and read the comic book. So it's great because the thing about it is obviously going there to do deliveries and being part of the team that does deliveries from the thing. I can sit in the back and just read comic books. Brilliant. And I get a lot of nice Vietnamese food at the end after reading comic books. Great, isn't it?
Just like being back at school.
It is indeed, yes. So, because I don't actually have that many comics myself. Because I can tell you a couple of sad tales as to why not. I used to have loads. Twice I've had loads of comics that that ended up being either chucked out or just disappeared. One was I was at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and my brother and my dad went down to sort out the shed at the bottom of the garden, and loads of stuff had gone a bit rotten because I had it in boxes, these great comic books boxes, and the plastic covers, but there was lots of weather damage to the shed. I think I just ignored the fact that my comics may have just died and hoped they weren't. But then my dad and my brother went, nah, a lot of them were just rotten. But here's the sad thing. Not only do I have classics like Silver Surfer versus Thor and all these great old classics, but I had a comic book in that collection that was Spider-Man versus the Hulk, signed by Stan Lee with a gold marker. And that comic basically bit the bullet. Sad, isn't it? You don't even know what that means. You don't know what that means, do you?
I'm attempting to feign interest.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't even know who Stan Lee is, do you? Do you know? Jesus, Stan Lee is the guy that started most of it. He basically is. He basically co-invented Spider-Man, the Hulk, Fantastic Four. He's a legend.
I do recognize the name.
Ah, good.
I thought it was the Stan Lee that played for Bolton Wanderers in the 1970s.
That was just his first name, Stan Lee.
He was a great superhero, that one.
But yeah, I had a Hulk versus Spider-Man comic signed by him, and it basically got just damaged by the English weather. I also got him to sign my rucksack. I had a rucksack. I met him when I was about 14 or 15. He signed my rucksack as well. But everyone at school back then, before superheroes became cool, what's that on your rucksack? And I said, oh, yeah, it's Stan Lee. Who? And they'd make fun of me. So I scrubbed his signature off my rucksack because I got fed up with the piss taking. Sad, see? Sad stories, man.
You got so many sad stories around Stan Lee's autograph.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's my sad comic book stories with Stan Lee. Do you want a bit of interesting trivia with Stan Lee for you and your viewers as well? It makes it a great
as well. Yep.
Fuck it, we might as well, innit? We're here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, I would normally do this in question form, but now it's no point, right? Because here's the fact: Stan Lee is the actor that's appeared in the most amount of biggest grossing movies. Because you ask that question, who's the actor that's been in the biggest amount of biggest grossing movies? People like Eddie Murphy, Tom Hanks, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. No, it's Stan Lee because he's been a cameo in pretty much all of the Marvel movies. So, I think something like the movies he's been in have grossed like $60 billion or something worldwide.
Wow.
So there you go.
And here's the one thing I do know about Stan Lee, and he's an incredibly long career, because he actually worked with Laurel and Hardy, because that's where the catchphrase, that's another fine mess you've gotten us into, Stan Lee.
There you go. So you know these facts. All these facts you didn't know about comic books.
Yeah. Listen, Nick, it's been lovely having you on the show. You are going to be coming back because we're going to be having a test of your knowledge of superheroes. But we're actually going to seg very, very, very seamlessly into the next part of the show, which features our second guest, who is similarly obsessed as you are. I'll hand back to Jay and Dave, who are going to introduce him.
Now, before we move on, my friends, I've got to say, Vlad, two things. Firstly, your Cockney accent, absolutely incredible. Can we hear that again?
Cockney accent? I didn't know I did one.
You did a Cockney accent. You were like, oh, that's a thing. Oh, it's beautiful. Honestly, best moment.
I must just have lapsed into it.
Well, also, thank you very much.
Spot, not do it, innit?
What is nearly as good as that? Brilliant. Well, nearly as good as that is some of the comments that we have had coming in. Thank you to everyone that has been commenting. Thank you to Jay. Thank you to Christy. Thank you to JC Spades. Thank you to James and John. JC Spades says she'll cut your hair live. The only problem is that she'll need really long scissors.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We've had Jay Saunders saying, get Vlad in a full rainbow hair. Don't really know what that means.
I'd rather not know.
We need Vlad's hair that wild, but a member of his family could dye it. So
yeah,
we will guarantee on behalf of Jay, on behalf of Vlad, I am saying we will absolutely guarantee that we will cut Vlad's hair next week if we break the £100 mark tonight. So it's like comic relief. It's not too late to donate. Here is the link. All of the money goes to a good cause. That's the Shave Lad Fund.
And all I'd ask anyone at home is just think how much it would normally cost to get a haircut. Donate that now.
Well, we are having too much fun here. We're running well far behind. So without further ado, let's welcome on our next brilliant act. He's incredible. He's a stand-up comic. He's a finalist of Old Comedian of the Year, but not a lot of people know about his alternative persona. Let's have a quick look at that.
I believe this one, let's see.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Rob Deb, talking to you from All the Comics, wishing you all a very Merry Marvel Christmas.
Brilliant. And what also Dave didn't mention, which I am very, very happy to mention, is our next guest is literally my oldest friend in comedy. I met him at my second ever gig when I had black hair. It's an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. I'm so glad. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. So please give it up for the one and only Rob Deb.
Hello. All right, mate.
I'm very well, my friend. I'm very well, buddy. Oh, I can see it. Look at that. Look. Oh, I can go mad as well. I can go mad as well.
That was back when we were, I think, just to give an idea. So would that be just for the younglings? That would be what, mid-late 96? Would it be 96 when you did your second gig?
I believe, I think it was January of 1997. It was at the Tutton Shive.
97.
Yes. It was at the Tutton Shive.
That was it. And we were like tour buddies.
Yeah, we were.
You had to be then because there was none of this internet stuff. You had to be. I mean, within a year, I think you were probably number 4 in terms of 10 Asian comedians.
I'm number 5
I was number
now.
7. You're number 5 now, but you know, I was number 7. It hadn't reached double digits at that point. You know, I mean, number 9 was from Malta. He was gutted with me.
This is very true. In the very early days of Asian comedy.
Asian date, yeah, number 9. He's like, what is he doing there? Look at him. Yes. Look at him. You know, for those of you who think, well, you know, influence.
Yeah, no, this is it. The internet was a big thing. But yes, it's one of the. It's again. Like I haven't seen you for such a long time because of lockdown and so on and so forth. And what have you seen kind of like over the week news wise and stuff? What have you seen? We'll try and do some sort of topic.
I feel a bit bad because it's supposed to be about capes and cocks, and you know, like here we are on economics, you know, because we like to break stereotypes and stuff. You know, you work in accountancy. And I watched the budget, you know, and, you know, again, you know, you want to break boundaries, but we're 2 Asian guys talking about the budget. So I thought was has delivered the most manliest budget ever. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's the most manliest budget in that he's done fuck all and expected a round of applause.
It's like half my gigs.
He literally stood there and did, yeah, whatever. You know what I did last year? I just turned up and bodged it like a fucking temp. Right, because that's fucking you better, and he legged it before even fucking Brexit. So I've inherited it, and then I'll do what I did last year. Fine. It's amazing. Freelancers. Well, now you can claim for the fuck all you did in this year as opposed to the fuck all you earned the year before. Mortgages. Okay, so you got 5% there for the banks. We'll give the banks money. Oh, what? You want an easier rate because you're a young first timer? Fuck you. And then they've got like the best, not the best, sorry, the most disgusting. But you know when you're just the fucking Schadenfreude, right? In the press conference, said, okay, what about a pay rise for the NHS, the the frontline people? And he said, well, they've got jobs.
The one thing I want to say
am I
is
wrong here?
No. The one thing I want to say is that both me and Rob are Asian, and we formally denounce Rishi Sunak from our race. Just for saying shit.
Mate, we can't do that. You know, one of those people go, no, Shamim is not. No, you can't do that. Fucking choices, mate. Fam is fam. Choices. That's your stand. But like, man. But we can't do that. I mean, and you make it sound like, and you are showing progress because you're showing the wider audience, that just because we're Asian, they think that we can't be racist. No, we get fucking time for it. We can do it. I think we can dream that dream, Jay, and break that boundary. Who invented pastyism? We did.
Hey, even I got white hair.
I don't know what it's like to be. Yeah. I mean, let's face it. Oh, and let's be fair, because I mentioned it as well. Like, now we've managed in 2021. The other thing I've noticed is that we don't often talk. Me and you care about it, but we don't often talk about the impact of racism on white people. But Ponting's managed to get that.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. The world is basically this is why me and Rob are the best friends ever. Internet issues. This is like watching Gogglebox, but with drugs. But this is the thing. This is why me and Rob are the bestest friends ever, because this is the type of shit we talk about all the fucking time. It's awesome. It's so awesome. This is the other thing I wanted to find out about, Rob. You're in a film.
Yeah. No, I am. I just wanted to mention the Pontins thing. If you've seen the list, have you seen the actual list that came out from them? For those who don't know, they had a list of family surnames that were banned from staying, largely Irish, associated Romany traveller names. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you look at the list, it looks like something you'd see pinned up in the green room somewhere. Right, with its funny picture of Gandalf and everything. Yeah. And I got some of the names here. Yeah. Boyle, Carr, Delaney, McGuinness. Right. That's not a blacklist. That's a lineup at Jongler's Christmas Do's.
This is it. I think we're having a few internet issues. I think we're having a few internet issues. What we'll do is we'll stick around, Rob. We've got plenty more fun and games to kind of go on. But listen, it's an absolute pleasure having you here. Stick around. Let's bring all the others back as well. So there we are. Hey!
Brilliant stuff. Well, I reckon now is a wonderful time for Jay to move on to our very special quiz.
Yes. Do we have a graphic for this one? I don't think we've got a graphic. We've got a graphic for this one. If I don't think, yes, there you go. Who is the hero? There you go. Look at that. Look at my 1998 publicity photo just there. That's amazing. And Vlad's going to do a haircut in that one. That's awesome.
That is my 2019 Fringe publicity shot.
I look like I'm.
If I manage to answer any of these questions, I'll be fucking surprised. But if I do manage to answer any of these questions, you will hear this noise. Right.
Now, this is it. Now, here we go. This is about comic books and heroes and villains and so on and so forth. Right. So I have done some research. Right. And I've come up with 7 names. Right, 7 names, and they're either Marvel superheroes or villains, or DC superheroes or villains, or I have made them up. All right, and I want you guys, both Rob and Nick, to either say hero, fake, or villain. All right. Okay. So
is it who gets in there first, or what?
No. Both of you have a good crack at this. So let's do this, right? So you may figure out a bit of a theme that's kind of going on there. But number one, the first one. So let's do this. So
okay,
there you go. Number 1, anal.
Surname Joy. Well, the thing about it is, you say that, but to some hero, to some villain, you see. So you know, it's
going to be someone who disappoints.
Whatever your proclivities are. Hero, some say hero and villain.
Yeah. Was there not one called double anal?
So which one are you going for then, Nick? Which one are you going for?
No, I'm going to go fake, obviously.
Nick,
I'm going to go fake.
Okay, cool. Rob, what are you going for?
He's going for anal.
Again, so it's a regular night out.
Or that's just the face he's pulling. His
internet hasn't frozen. He's just thinking about the egg.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob's internet is frozen. So let's open it up to both Dave and Vlad. What do you guys think? Hero, fake, or villain?
I'm going to go out there and say I think that's fake.
Okay, Dave?
So I was definitely going to go fake, so I think it's a villain.
He's a hero.
It's got to be DC. There's no way that's Marvel. That is definitely DC.
He's a student of the Xavier Institute and a junior member.
Marvel.
Yes, there you go. And
it's got to be spelt differently, though. It must be spelt in a weird, different way. It's not actually ANAL.
It is like ANOLE.
It's probably Anole or something like that.
Oh, right. I thought that was cream for piles.
So basically, what you just mispronounced that. That's what you're saying, isn't you? Really? Okay.
It's all there. It's all there, as it was. So number 2 on the list. Number 2 on the list.
Walkham's back. Okay.
It's another one. It's another one that you should be able to relate to. Fat bastard.
That's you, isn't it?
Is he fake, hero, or villain?
I'm going. He is. Well, wait a second. Isn't he that Scottish bloke in Mike Myers' movie, Austin Powers? It's not Marvel or DC, is it? But I'm still going hero. I'm going hero.
Oh, okay, hero. All right. Okay, cool. Dave?
I'm going to say if it's bastard, he's got to be a villain. Definitely villain.
Okay, cool. And Vlad?
I was at school with that bastard. He was a fucking villain. He used to take everyone's dinner money.
Now, Nick was right, but then gave the wrong answer. He's not a Marvel or a DC villain or hero. He is actually fake, but he was in the Austin Powers movie. So the actual answer is fake. But
hero, though. But I was right. I was more right. In fact, I wasn't wrong. I was more right than even the answer is. So there you go. So you know what? I don't normally swear on this show, but fuck off. I was right. Okay, I was more right than anybody ever.
So technically,
I
so
reckon
far,
the next one we're going to get asked is Tommy Tickle.
No, he's definitely a villain. He's definitely a villain.
technically, Rob is actually winning, even though he's not actually.
I know he's not here.
So number three on the list. Right, number 3. Ready? Pebble Dash. Pebble Dash.
I'm going villain. I'm going to say villain.
Villain. All right, Nick. Dave.
I say fake, and I judge you for it.
I would say cladding.
He's another Scottish superhero. He's another Scottish superhero. Bless him. The answer is actually fake. I made him up completely. So
These aren't really even things these fake heroes. These are just your sexual proclivities, aren't they? That you know. And the reason that they're fake villains, because this is what you keep trying with the missus, and she keeps telling you, no, you evil man, go away.
This is why I'm hoping.
You think Jay goes to his missus? Can we try a bit of Pebble Dash tonight? And she's like,
you know what?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Right? Yes, he definitely
I thought
does.
you'd just been randomly using words you've seen on the side of white vans.
I live in a very middle class area. They're all Mercedes where I come from.
So that's not Simlico Plumbers.
Here we go. Arsenal.
Actually, Arsenal is a villain in the Marvel universe. I know this. He's like a big chunky robot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dave.
Well, I'm going to go with
told him
Nick.
the
He
answer.
sounds like he knows this, so I'm going to say villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think if you took a survey in North London, 50% would say villain and 50% would say hero.
Mm-hmm. He is actually a villain. And Nick was absolutely right. He's a villain in DC Comics, known for his powered suit with weapons. That's why it was called Arsenal.
There you go. There you go.
Not because he was shit at football.
Isn't there a villain called,
He had bad management, okay? He had bad management.
isn't there a villain called Tottenham?
Right,
Arsenal
now here we
always
go.
used to finish above him in the league table. So anyway,
Should we do one
Well,
more,
not
okay?
Number
Okay,
5.
top
Number
one,
5
top
on
one.
the list. Here we go. Right. Giant Girl. There you go. Giant Girl. Now, go on, Nick. The reason why I picked Giant Girl is because you're a comic book geek and you've probably never heard of one of those. So,
had a few. So,
hero, villain, or fake?
I'm gonna say genuine. I'm going villain.
Villain. All right. Dave.
I say fake.
Fake. Okay, cool. And Vlad.
I was at school with Giant Girl, and she gave Fat Bastard a hand job at the bus stop. In exchange for a packet of crisps that he bought with my dinner money.
So
Everyone took your dinner money.
Which one are you going for? Hero?
Villain.
Hero, actually. So I have to say that Nick has, just so you know, it was part of the Young Avengers, and her real name is Cassie Lang. There you go.
Well, there we go. What a great quiz. But I know that we have to move this on because we're already over the time that we normally would. And we've got one more thing that we've got to do, and that is our final challenge, which is Mass Tasker! Yes, that's really in no way a rip-off of the Channel 4 show. This week's Mass Tasker is draw yourself as a superhero while blindfolded. So I want to see you all with your blindfolds on. I'm going to give you 3 seconds, by which time I want to draw yourself as blindfolded. How many
seconds?
3 seconds before
You'll hear this noise,
and then you'll have 30 seconds to draw yourself as a superhero while blindfolded. We are going to start now in 3, 2, 1, go! There we go. This week we are getting our competitors to draw themselves as a superhero while blindfolded. Jay looks like he doesn't know what's going on. I think I can see some downward eye movement from Mr. Coppin, while Vlad is looking like something out of one of the Star Wars movies. It's
I'm doing mine in full colour.
I've done it, I think.
Mayhem.
Right,
It's all mayhem at the moment. It looks like Jay has just been done. Right, Nick is done. That's it. Time, my friends. Right, let's finish. Let's quickly start with the top left. Jay, let's have a look at yours. Every week it's Earthworm Jim.
It's a cock with a cape.
Brilliant. Nick, down to you.
Right, do you want to see mine? I will explain it as well, but it's weird how it turned out. But look, I mean that's weird. You've got there's like what looks like that's meant to be the face, and that's the head. You can see where the arms and legs are meant to be, and that is obviously my massive cock. So my studio is massive black one. That's my cock there.
Oh, brilliant! And let's finish it all off with Vlad.
Well, I did mine in full colour. And in fact, I was so proud of it. I thought if I hold this up to my camera, it's not really going to do the final effort the justice it deserves. So I managed to scan it and send it to our tech wizard, Alex, who's backstage. And he should have a copy of it now. There we go.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Wow, you're a true artist. That is amazing.
And that's going to make this even worse, Vlad, that I'm going to say that Jays wins it this week. Not fair, is it? Well, thank you so much to all of you for watching. Don't forget, it's not too late to donate. The link there is at the bottom. A huge thank you to our guests, Rob, Deb, and Nik Coppin. Nick, have you got anything you would like to plug?
Just get me book off Amazon. That'll do.
There we go. Get Nick's book off Amazon. Find out more about Rob Deb at his website, all of his social media channels. Watch him online and look out for that movie. A huge thank you to my co-hosts. It's Jay Sodagar, Vladimir McTavish. Keep donating because next week we're going to shave Vlad. That's enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Yay.